Now, if you know me and you know my channel, I've been a fan of the GH5 for a long time. Still am. I still think it's a great camera, even in 2023 at the time of filming this. But there's some features on the S5IIX that remind me a lot of the GH5, and I definitely think these features are worth noting because it's some of the things that made the GH5 so great. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Caleb, and I've got a ton of content about the GH5, GH6, S5II, S5IIX. So if you want to learn more about these cameras, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you don't miss when new videos come out. You know, I should actually toss on a monitor so I can screen record. 4K live crop. First feature on the S5IIX that reminds me so much of the GH5 is the 4K live crop. And this is absolutely perfect for any type of B-roll you might need to shoot for a product. So go into the menu and pop up the very first menu setting. Go all the way down to this little camera with the 3 dots. And the very bottom one is going to be live cropping. And you're going to have two different options, a 40-second version and a 20-second version. And that just means that you're going to have a 20-second, cropped video or a 40-second cropped video. So the 40-second is obviously going to be a little bit slower. So I'm going to go with the 20-second. And I'm going to set my endpoint kind of right on this camera right here so that it is kind of focused in on that camera. So I'm going to set that. And then my endpoint, I'm going to make this whole screen. So it kind of does like a crop out, almost like a zoom out. So I have my point set, and then what I'm going to do is just hit record, and it's going to do this crop on its own, and I don't have to do anything. So there you have a 20-second clip of some B-roll, and it's great for any type of products. It's almost like a slider shot, not quite a slider shot, but it definitely has a nice, smooth feel to it. You're not getting any bounce when you're doing the zoom, and it definitely looks really good. Focus transition. The next feature on the S5IIX that reminds me a lot of the GH5 is the focus transition. And what this allows you to do is put multiple focus points in the image, and you can focus rather than, pulling focus on the lens, you pull focus by a little tap on the screen. And you can have up to 3 focus points on your shot, and it just makes it a nice, smooth focus transition. All right, to get to the focus transition, we're going to go back into the menu, and it's in the same area as live cropping, except we're going to hit focus transition. So from here, we're going to be able to set our different positions. So position 1, I'm going to set right here on this GH5 logo that's kind of right on the corner of the image here. So position 1, and I'm going to set that. Then for position 2, I'm going to go back to that camera way in the back there. You can kind of see it. That's going to be my position 2. So I'm going to set that. And then for my position 3, I think I'm going to go right over to the grass that's kind of on this side over here. Position 3, I'm going to set that. And then what I can do is I have these different focus points here, 1, 2, and 3. So let's go to position 1. So right now it's on position 3 on the grass. Let's go to position 1, and it's going to go to that GH5 logo. Then position 2, we're going to take it all the way back to that camera in the back. And then position 3, I can go back to the grass. So having those different focus positions is going to allow you to pull focus really easily if you have a scene that you need to go from one character to the other. Maybe you have a character in the foreground, a character in the background. It's going to allow you to focus pull really easily without having to put your hand on the lens or use a follow focus on the side of your rig. It's such a great carryover feature from the GH5, and honestly, I don't really use it enough. Waveform. The next great feature of the S5IIX that reminds me of the GH5 is the waveform. And you hear me talk about the waveform all the time, but go into the menu, go to the wrench, and go down to monitor, display video, second page of that, waveform vector scope, and turn on the waveform. And the waveform is going to help you measure and gauge the exposure of your image. So you could take a gray card, for example, and put it in your shot and measure where that gray card is. Usually at 42 IRE is where you want that. You can make this bigger if you want to, make it smaller, and you can move it around the screen, put it in different spots. But this is one tool that you are definitely going to want to use to make sure that you are exposed correctly when you go to shoot on your S5IIX. So a lot of the great features that the S5IIX has I mean, come from the GH5. And really, that's what made the GH5 so great and why so many people absolutely loved it. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Is there anything else about the GH5 that you've seen on the S5IIX or anything else that the GH5 has that you'd like to see in a future Lumix camera? Let's get a conversation started down there. So the S5IIX definitely has a lot of improvements over the GH5. And if you're looking to upgrade from the GH5, make sure you check out this video that's popping up on your screen right here, because that kind of goes through some different things if you want to consider maybe the GH6 or the S5IIX from the GH5.